there, it's Mykal Harp from Quantum Life, Living a Quantum Life, Quantum Life store in downtown Cary, quantumlife.com on the internet. We sell metaphysical goodies, crystals, jewelry, singing bowls, musical instruments, anything about empowerment. I'm all about self-empowerment for you. We are here today on Tuesday, April 4th. I had to look at the calendar to see what day it was. And I only know it's Tuesday because I'm here every Tuesday at 6. So I know it's Tuesday, April 4th. That's all I know. Beautiful, beautiful day. Such a great day. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see who's here. So please say hi in the chat. I'm going to do a quick card pull for just the week to see what it comes up with, but then we'll get to you guys about what you want to know. Like, what questions do you have about your journey that we can pull some tarot cards and maybe find out a little bit more about? So yeah, what's going on? It's hi Barry. I got a Barry Michelle. How are you today? Thank you for joining me here today. And thank you for saying hi. It's always so nice to have some interaction, just sitting here with a camera on, and it's like I'm supposed to perform. It's nice to have some interaction so that I don't feel so alone on this journey. But I am here for you, and I'm so glad that you're here too. Got Christina Perkins. Hi, Christina. How you doing? Oh, these are all my favorite people. She says understandable. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so let's pull out some cards. How's your day been? I mean, are you guys doing okay? I tell you, it's been a weird week. It's like one day it's way up here and everything is amazing. And then, it can be hours later and everything, it just feels like you're trudging through the mud trying to get to the next step, and your foot is just being sucked into the mud and you can't lift it and go to that next step. And so it has been just an interesting week of that, where it's just highs and lows and everything in between. And I'm wondering if that's holding true for you guys. What do you guys think? What has this last 7 days been like for you? We got Energy Vibe saying hi. Hi, Energy Vibe. So glad you could be here. All right. Barry's saying that was last week. Yeah, I know. It's held true for me this week kind of too. I mean, today was really good though. I feel like I kind of made progress. Like I said, sometimes it just feels like you're just trying to move through sludge. And today I left work and came here to do this, and I'm like, I got so much done today. So I was feeling really good about that. Got my tax stuff into my tax person that's such a relief to have that done. All right, let's focus on the cards. What do we got here, guys? What's the cards got for us for the week here? Give me 3 cards for the week. There's one card. Christina's saying it's a beautiful day. Yes. Oh my gosh. It was so, so beautiful. So beautiful. All right. For the week, we have, I like this. Beautiful. I love these cards. I use the Dragon Tarot. And this is the first card that's come out for the week, the universe. And do you see that? It's just the eye of a dragon. And when you look in the eye of the dragon, it's like the whole universe is within that eye. And if you guys are into dragons, I'm doing my dragon healing on Wednesday night at the office. So that'll be fun. It's a beautiful healing group. All right. So first, I love this. Okay. So this is really telling me about the bigger picture that, when we look through the eye, we can really focus in on really minute details, but really it's beyond the minute details that we want to get to. It's that expansive universal energy that is so much beyond the little details. The little details, it's kind of like we have to get through them, but they're not as important as realizing that higher view picture of all that is possible. All that is possible, because anything, God, look at that. Anything is possible through that universe. And yet we're living life close up. Like, you see how close that dragon is. You can only see the eye. That's us living life. We are that close to our living our life. But it's really all this universal energy that is beyond just this moment in this 3D, in this human experience, that can really help us understand the bigger picture of it all. All right. Ooh, I like this. So the next card I got is the Six of Swords. And notice this dragon, how she's got the baby dragon on her back. And what I love about this is it really speaks to me that this universal energy, that we're talking about in this first card, is carrying us, that we're not alone, that and it doesn't have to be hard. Like, as much as I've been talking about how it feels like I'm in mud, I've really been trying to consciously not get upset about it. I've been just going, it's just mud. I just need to take that next step. I can do what I can in this moment. And that's all I'm focusing on. So this is what the second card really reminds me of, is that let the dragon carry you. Don't get too caught up in those details, because they're going to resolve themselves, whether you're upset about them or not, right? Being upset doesn't resolve anything. So I love this. So we got the big universal energy, the micro and the macro, and the micro. You guys have to help me with my words. Macro versus the micro and macro. Micro being the small, the very nitty gritty, right? Versus the macro, which is so big in the big picture. And not to worry about it. It's all going to flow into place. Let the dragon, let the energy carry you through those times. And then the last card we have for the week is Ace of Wands. And I'm just feeling into this because this is really cool. So we've got a dragon here, and you can see he's breathing the breath, this fire breath, down through the staff into this egg. And eggs are all about new beginnings. And what I'm really feeling is that this universal energy, dragons really are about letting universal energy flow. They remove away the obstacles that prevent the energy from moving. And it's like he's breathing life into a dream, into a project, into a new beginning. And I love this, because it's not about destroying this egg. It's about breathing life into this egg. And again, the egg is about the potentials, about what is next for us, what is happening for us in the future. So this is really amazing. Like, all I get is like, stay positive, stay in the big picture, stay connected to the greater connection to our soul, to the universal energy. Don't get upset. Like, just let the energy carry you. Let the energy carry you. And I get this symbolized twice in this card. One, riding the dragon, but also the boat on the water. It's all about the water representing universal energy, that consciousness, and the boat is just carrying it along. But then the dragon can help too. So I love that. And then birthing, it's not birthing, because we're not at the point of allowing, or we're not at the point of having this egg hatch. We are at the point that we are manifesting the potential of the egg that can hatch in the future. Does that make sense? Like, we're not at the hatching point. We are at the creation point, the point where we are giving energy and concepts into the potential of what might be. Loving all this. So that is amazing energy. It's a very positive message. It's a very supportive message for all of us. So I love this. All right. So we have Angela saying hi. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let's get down to you guys. So Barry saying, very accurate from last week, dragging through the mud this week. Not much change, but I am letting the dragon carry me. Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, when we let the dragon hold the heavy weight of our burdens, it's so much easier. And I really am trying to be conscious this week for myself about, whatever's put in front of me, I'm just dealing with it. Like, as much as possible, if I can do something with that, I'm moving through, I'm working with it. I'm resolving it if I have to. I'm celebrating it if I need to celebrate it. But I'm just moving through each and every part of the day with this very bigger, higher perspective that all of this is helping us create that egg's point of creation to the big thing that's really coming. So it's here. So if you guys want a card for yourself, let's see what we can get for you guys. Just write into the comment section that you want a card. You can put in a specific question if you want to, or you can just say you want a card and we'll pull out and see what we can come up with. And we'll just focus, when you set your intention, even if you don't write it out, that is going to start the shifting and the energy moving to have you get the answers that you're looking for in the cards. And Michelle saying, love sent me. Okay, so we have somebody who wants to try to hijack the show here. That's so fun. So fun being on social media. Christina wants a card. Barry says she has a relationship pulling her through the mud, but let's focus on Christina. Christina. All right. How you doing this week, Christina? Let's see if I'm just going to focus in on you for a second. I do love your energy, Christina. Such a sweet energy. Let's pull a card for Christina. What do we got for her? I'm just going to let them kind of select the card itself. Nothing is falling out. Come on, cards. Oh, there it is. The moon. Here's your card. Christina, she's a little nervous about allowing the universe to nourish her. Yeah, I love this. And, nourish is a great word that I can associate with this card, because when I feel this card for you, it's almost like there's this still point, a still point of potentials. But nourishing it, I love that, because when you look at the moon and how the moon's energy, that light that's reflecting off the moon coming down to you, is very nourishing. And I feel like that nourishment is going to give you the stance to get you to the moment that you need to take action. Like what I'm feeling with this card, there's no action in this card. This card is all about just the still point, being quiet, to look for the signs. Do you see the lighthouses here? You know how lighthouses, they will send out the shafts of light out across the ocean for the boats to see, so that they can have warning or notice or communication about that there is a shoreline there, before we had technology, right? And I feel like there's just a still point for you, waiting for the notification, the intuition, inspiration to come to you about your next step. And so I love that you're just in nourishment, because nourishment is most received when you're in that still point, when you are just in acceptance and in love of yourself, but even of the situation. So there's this, like I said, there's a real still point here, but I feel like there's many characters at play also. Like none of them are moving though. You've got the cat, and you've got the tiger, and you got the crab. But I feel like it's all just, you are at this point of a still point, a stopping point. Stopping to me would almost say that you're not going to, it's just this pause. It's a pause that you're taking, that you are now in, and it's perfect. Like, accept that it's a pause, accept that a pause is okay. Because a lot of times we get into this mental thing that we have to be doing something, that we are supposed to be moving, that we're supposed to be, pushing our way into the thing that we are wanting. For you right now, the still point, that pause, is exactly where you are and exactly where you need to be. And that pause, you stay there until you get the notification from the lighthouse or your intuition, inspiration, right? Yeah, it's a time of reflection, a time of an inner going inward and really determining what you want. I feel like this is your opportunity to just be in that pause, go inward, and to really determine what it is that you want. And it's not about even trying to figure out what the next step is, because the next step is going to reveal itself in your inspiration, in the intuition, in things that are going to interact with you and intersect with you to guide you to the next step. So you'll have to let me know what you waiting patiently. Yes. Does that resonate? I mean, what's going on that waiting patiently is the thing that you're supposed to be doing right now? But can you see that? I mean, they're all just waiting patiently. They are absorbing those moon rays, and moon is all about the feminine energy, the feminine aspects that are loving and giving and just being at peace with that, at peace. So, the kind of personality that I am, because I'm a go, go, go. This is probably one of the things that I would have a hard time with it. So I want to give you more, but I really don't have more. So I'm going to stick with this because this is what's coming through and it's the message. But I would so understand and relate to the idea that this is a frustrating situation to be in. And she's saying definitely waiting for a manifestation to come in. Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel like. You're just waiting. And that's an okay space to be in. And I've had to be okay. I have had to find my own peace with learning how to be okay in those pausing moments. I always equate it to, universal energy. It's the energy that we work with, that we are, because we have an energy field around us that creates this physical body. And I always equate this energy matrix to the same way wind and water work, where there's currents to it. And if you think about the water on like the ocean tides, how there are times they come in and it's really heavy and strong and high, and it seems so strong and so close, and you're riding that high wave and it's go, go, go. But then when the water retreats in low tide, when it pulls back, and you can't even hardly see the ocean from the coastline, and it's quiet and it doesn't feel like anything's moving. That's the way energy works. It's going to sometimes be high and crazy and really, really busy. And there are times it's going to recede and have those still points. And you are in that still point. For me, like I said, I always have a frustration with waiting during still points, because I'm a go, 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 do person that's learning how to be patient. Very good. All right. Anyone else? Do you have a question? Do you have want a card? Just let me know, so I just have a name to focus in on for who to pull the card for. Yeah. Well, I'm excited, Christina, for your manifestation to come about. You'll have to keep me posted about the outcome. So, yeah. This year is going to be big about manifestation. And even today, I'm going to start working on, I want to teach manifestation. I am a amazing manifester. It's so good that I have manifested so many things that I thought I wanted that I absolutely ended up hating. And it really taught me a lot about how to work with energy, how to let it serve you. So very cool. Barry. You betcha. All right, Barry. I'm just going to focus in on Barry. All right, a card for Barry. Well, it's flying. I gotta find it. Ooh. Barry, check that out. That's the Fortune's Wheel. So when I look at this card, this is an amazing card. Barry, it feels like there's many directions that you could go, many choices that you could make, or many options to the choices that you could make. And none of them would be wrong. Yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? She's saying this card's beautiful. I love this deck. Absolutely love this deck. What I love about this card is it feels like there's a balance to it. There feels like there's a lot of options to it for you. There's a magical sense to it, almost like I feel like there's this magical essence that you have within you to kind of be able to pick any one of those spokes to go in the direction that you want to go. But it's going to be up to you about where you went or decide to go. Barry says her sound went out. So what I was saying is that I love this card because there's so much balance to it. There's so many options to it. If you can imagine that you are at the center of this wheel and you can choose any one of those spokes to traverse, to explore, to discover, and none of them are wrong. Like, you have a lot of options that you can go in so many different directions, and it would all be good. Like, you have options that a lot of people don't necessarily have. And it's just going to be kind of up to you about where you want to put your focus. And what I'm really hearing is, like, with no judgment, like I said, you can pick any of these and it would be great. It's really going to come down to a personal preference with where you are at. What do you want? And sometimes we will look to source to saying, source, tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. But in reality, we have a lot more say in that sometimes than we think we do. It is a balance because a lot of times we do come in with soul agreements. But also with this new energy that's coming in, it's kind of blown open a lot of new doors for us. And I feel like there's a lot of new doors that are potentials for you that would all be good. Like, there's no wrong answer here. Like, you could do art, you could do, accounting, you could do just whatever it is that really pulls you, and none of it would be wrong. There's a sense of freedom in this card to me because it's not like a single path that you have to go down and stick to. It is, I want to go play with what do we have here? We have a unicorn, the turtle. That's a lion. And I know that's some kind of seabird. I can't remember its name. But you can go and play with all of these and be highly successful in all of them. Knowing what I want, hard for an overthinker. I'm an accountant that would like to do. Yeah. And that's so this is all about balance, right? Like, being an accountant isn't bad, but you need to go on other spokes to explore your art. You need to have balance. You use the brain, but then start using, engaging that right brain, your imagination, explore that. And it's all good. Like, it's not like you should leave being an accountant and go only into painting or into your art, right? It's about finding the balance in between all the things that you want. And you can do that. You absolutely can do that. So that's really cool. But what I love about this is I feel like you have so many options and they're all good. There's no bad options for you. It's just a matter of exploring them. It's about going out and actually doing it. It's like getting off just the center and starting to get into the spoke of something else, playing with the possibilities, the potentials. More time to explore options. Are you asking if you need more? I'm not sure I understand that, because you don't need time. You just need to go do it. And this is what my spiritual teachers would tell me. So I'm going to share it with you, which is, you don't need more time. You need boundaries on saying, I've done my accounting. Now it's time to go do some other stuff. I need that other those other spokes to feel balanced, to feel whole. So, and you're here tonight, so that's amazing. So like this is definitely a right brain engagement, right? It's something that's not on a spreadsheet and has to balance up. And that's a big difference between the left and right brain. Is the left brain wants, 5 and 5 to equal 10, but the right brain can go 5 and 5 can be 20. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. Thank you, Barry. That was awesome. All right. So we are at Jolly. Jolly. I like that. All right. Let's see what we can get for Jolly. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that as one word, but I like it. Jolly. Sounds very jolly. It might be Jaylee. See, and I'm not good at pronouncing to begin with, so I apologize if I'm butchering people's names, but I can't even pronounce my own name half the time. Okay, Jolly. 4 of Pentacles, the dragon with the 4 of Pentacles. What I love about this is it really has a motherly feminine energy that's calling to me. It's really what it reminds me of nesting. Like there's this, how when you have a nest, imagining that you're a dragon and you have a nest and you just settle down on the nest to cover the eggs, to take your time with them, to allow them to incubate with your heat. You're protecting them. You've done the hard work. You've done the hard work of creating the egg, birthing the egg, but now you're just taking care of the egg. And that's what I'm feeling for you, is that it's a matter of, and I'm just seeing because I know somebody else that said had a specific question. I wasn't sure if you did, Jolly. It feels like it's a matter of, again, kind of a waiting message, but a beautiful incubation message, a message of everything is in place. And now it's the time to just be at peace. Look how peaceful this dragon is, just sitting there, holding onto that disc, that orb, that pentacle, and being at peace with that and waiting for the next stage. Wow, this whole week seems to be about waiting for the next stage. Even the weekly cards I pulled was about that. And so far, almost everybody else is in this still point, right? But you've got the egg, and you're incubating the egg, you're protecting the egg. And so now it's just about being at peace with this stage of what you're wanting to get to next. And, make peace with where you're at right now is really the message I'm getting, because make peace with where you're at. But when you make peace with where you're at, that frees the energy from you having to stay in that situation. That if you can find, and this seems to be, a lot of people think that you have to fight against where you're at. But if you're wanting to move away from where you're at, if you want to get to a next stage, it's really about finding peace with where you're at. And then that frees, it's like a frozen lake. You've got your boat and it's frozen in the lake, and you're on the boat and you can't move because you've got just frozen water around you. And when you make peace with that situation, the water will melt, and then everything starts moving and shifting. And that's what I feel like where you're at right now is this. Just be good with it. Be good with it. Be patient. It's going to change. And the more you can find peace with it, Jay, I finally see his name, Jay, the more you can find peace with it, the sooner that ice is going to melt for you to be able to shift and move into that next stage that you're really looking for. Does that make sense? I hope that clarifies something for you. All right, Jay, thank you. Thank you. I'm just reading. She says, I'm Jay. She said, okay, probably because I was butchering the name. Got hearts. Thank you. I so appreciate the hearts. Yeah. Like I said, it just feels like so many of us are in this pause, this waiting moment. All right. We have, and I don't know how to pronounce your name either. Tanuj. Call you Tan. I can say Tan. When will I get a job? All right. I got Queen of Wands for you. When will I get a job? You know, I just get this again, going back. Look, it's another egg waiting to be hatched, another egg that we're waiting on. And I get the same thing for you. So I'm hearing not long, but I'm also hearing it kind of is going to depend on what job you're looking for. So, there's some people who just have this specific job that they want. And I'm going to just share a personal story. Like, I used to work in corporate world, and I remember, I think I said earlier about I'm a great manifester, and I've always managed to manifest great things, but then also learn that things that I manifest may not always be what I want. So when I was in the corporate world, I manifested this job. I got the money I wanted. I got the office I wanted. I got the title I wanted. It was the right location. And it was exactly everything, my criteria of everything that I wanted. And I worked there for a month and realized I hated my job there. I hated the people I worked with. Like, the activity of my responsibilities, that was okay. But the interactions with the people were tough for me. Like, they just were not a comfortable company for me to work in. And I just kind of, looked up at the universe going, what the heck? I mean, really? I mean, here I have manifested exactly what I thought was going to be the answer to my heart's desires, only to find that I really, really hated that job. And I discovered that it's a lot more important to put away certain expectations of what you think you want and maybe focus on the emotional aspects of what you want. For me, I really had to dive into going, okay, really, I just want to have fun at work. I want to, if I'm having fun at work and I'm happy and I'm joyful and I'm being able to just be myself, then if I'm happy, then I must be making the money that I want. So I let go of all of the expectations of titles and offices and a certain salary, and just opened it up to, I want to, be happy at work. I want to enjoy myself. I want to have fun at work. And, being someone who is applying for a job in the corporate realm, that just seemed like that wasn't two things that would go in very well together. But lo and behold, I'm a great manifester, and I was able to find a job with hardly any effort. Like, I wasn't even actively looking. It literally fell into my lap. A job in the corporate realm for all the money that I had thought, but also with the concept that I could have fun at work. And I worked there for a long, long time until I moved away. So it just feels like, focus in on what you're really wanting. Like, yes, you can have a job, but focus on the emotional state you want to feel, because if you're not happy there, it's not going to be what you want in the long term anyway. So that is what I'm feeling for you. But I love that this has an egg, that there is a lot of potential there. It's just, again, see how she's waiting for that egg to fully mature. It's like the fire is the incubation of it all. So the egg is on fire, it's incubating, it's gestating, it's doing its thing. Now it's just a matter of time. She's waiting patiently for it to hatch, for it to come into fruition. And that's where I feel like you are too. So I know that seems like a frustrating answer, but it's definitely the theme of this week about patience, 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 patience. So yeah, let's see. Is there anybody else here? We had Barry, we had Jay. Oh, thank you. Very sweet. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we have done it. Coming up at Quantum Life, we have some events coming up. I know I'm doing my Dragon Healing Circle tomorrow night. That's an in-person event at the Quantum Life Mastery location. We also have the full moon event at the store, Quantum Life store in downtown Cary. And that's just a free event where you can go in. We light up, you can write down on some flying wish paper what you want to. Let's say it's full moon, so we're going to release. I always get it backwards, releasing but we write on flying wish paper whatever you want to release or manifest, and then we roll it up and we light it, and it's really cool to watch it because it'll just kind of fly away and take it to that universal energy, cosmos energy to manifest for you. And we will pull a tarot card for you. It's just about community. It's just about coming into a space that is very supportive, very loving, and very relaxing. So we have the full moon event tomorrow night at, let's see, 5 to 6 o'clock at the store. And then, like I said, my Dragon Healing Circle group is at 6:30. That's a paid event, $33. You can go to quantumlife.com to sign up. Yes, I'm sorry, Energy Vibe. Let's get you a card. Sorry, I missed out on you. Energy Vibe. Let's just squeeze out one more card here. What do you want to tell Energy Vibe? Cards are thinking about cooperating up. There we go. We have Ace of Pentacles for you. So this is, you know, as much as the other ones were very much in the still point, a pause, this feels like it's time for you to apply yourself. It's time for you to move forward into the thing that it is that you have been wanting to do, but you haven't been doing it. It's time for you to get yourself focused and move. Do something towards the thing that you have been wanting to do. And this could be something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's a piece of inspiration that you got, but you haven't done anything about. Maybe it's a long-held dream. I'm not sure what it is specifically, but it's time for you to apply yourself. It's time for you to move forward into doing something about it. And it doesn't matter if you don't understand how to get to the end result of it, because maybe the dream is big. Maybe there's something really cool that you have always wanted, but it seems so out of reach that you don't even know where to start. The goal here is to just do a little something. It's like when I first started in trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I just read, because I ended up being a hypnotherapist and I wanted to do past life regressions. I was fascinated by that. I would just read books about past life regression. It wasn't that I was doing it. It wasn't like I was even in school about it, but I was just reading about past life regression. And so whatever it is that your dream is, whatever it is that your intuition or your inspiration has been pulling you towards, just do a little something with it, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a big step. It just has to be a little step just to show movement, just applying yourself to that thing that is pulling you towards it. And when I say pulling you towards it, like I said, it could just be something that keeps popping up in your head. It could have been an inspiration that made you feel really good. Keep in mind, your body and your emotional state are always giving you feedback on the thing that is most appropriate for you. So when you get excited about something, when you get thrilled about the idea of doing something, that is your soul speaking loudly to you, going, that is the thing, let's head that direction. And so I feel like there's just this movement that needs to be happening, applying yourself towards that thing that gets you really excited, that gets you thrilled. So apply yourself somehow to it, and to do it consistently. And you're going to see a shift and a movement when you do that. When you decide that you take that action, then that next step is going to reveal itself. You can't worry about where all the steps are going to be. You just have to take this next step. Yes, you are welcome. Angel message. Dragons are almost like angels. They're celestial. I work with the Dragon Tarot. So, but we definitely will see what we could have here for you. Let's see what we've got. Priyanshi. Oops, there it is. Oh, I don't know why they have to fall to the floor. All right. This is very cool. The High Priestess. Lots of wisdom. I feel like that you are at the stage of being able to connect into your own inner wisdom. And it is this priestess energy, the feminine aspect energy. Being able to tap into that and allowing it to flow through you. It feels like you've been shy up to this point about acknowledging that this is within you. But I want you to look at this dragon, this priestess dragon, and how she just looks so steadily out. And she is like looking into your soul, speaking to you of that this is you. There's just this silent conviction, this silent reassurance that this is for you. And if you see that scroll, it's like inviting you to take the scroll. Are you ready to take the scroll and start utilizing your own wisdom? That, you know, when we connect into our soul aspect, our higher self, we allow that ancient higher level wisdom to come through us. And I feel like this is what they want. They want to connect to you. They want to share this. They want it to flow through you. It is yours, but it's about connecting and doing the work, so to speak, of the connection so that it can flow through you. But I feel like that is just a really strong. I mean, look at, I just get this really, I mean, she's serious. Like, she's like, come on. It's time for us to connect. It's time for you to take the scroll. It's time for you to move into reading the scroll, sharing the scroll with whomever. And it doesn't have, you know, what that looks like can be different for everyone. Some people, it can be just a simple conversation with friends, the wisdom that can come through. Some others, they'll be on a platform and they'll be, you know, speaking to the masses. But it's time for you to connect. It's time for you to accept who you and what you are, and to accept the scroll. I just get this. You're supposed to accept the scroll. You're supposed to accept this next stage. Where a lot of, like I said, a lot of these were pause. You have another action one. It's, instead of being quiet and retreating and staying in the corner, it's time for you to move forward into your mission, into what you're supposed to be doing. All right. And Louise. Hello. Louise, how are you doing? All right. I'm going to have this as my last one. I've gone over a little bit, but this has been fun. It's been so nice to see all you. I looked up and it was 43, 44. I love it. 40. Yes. And my cat's getting hungry. She's meowing at my feet going, when are you going to feed me? Yep. Priyanshi, again, I'm sorry I butcher your name, but I'm just wondering if that resonates with you. Like, because I sense that you kind of know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. There's something that you're aware of and about connecting to that. All right, Louise. All right, so I got two cards, and I'm not quite sure if I feel like they're both for you. And what's interesting is they're both fire. Look at all the fire in these. They're both young dragons. You see, this one is just got the one young dragon, but this other one has the baby dragon down here. I feel like there's this energy of discovery. Like, when you're a kid and you're just beginning to learn and you are exploring and you're like, you walk out in the street because you don't know any better. You go climb a tree and maybe you're a little more careless than what your mom would like, but you're still exploring. You're still satisfying that need to feel what it would feel like to move out into a tree and climb up as high as you can to test your limits. And I kind of feel like that's for you. Like, you're testing your limits, you're testing your potentials, you're testing what it is that you're testing something. It's not even about where you're going or who you are. You're testing something, though. And there's a youth aspect to this. And it could be that you're newly testing it, or it could be that you have a youth view of what you're testing. And kind of what that means is, we just don't always understand all the time why adults want us to, draw on the lines or, follow these rules. And that's part of it, is like, I don't feel like you want to follow the rules, and that's okay. Like, I'm the last person to tell anybody to follow rules. I don't like rules for personally myself. So I love anyone that kind of tests rules and breaks rules and push the limits. And that's kind of what I'm feeling for you, is this, and you say yes, but I'm not sure what you said yes to. So maybe give me a little clarity, because it's interesting how it's this very youthful energy that isn't going to be restricted by an adult's or society's rules, if that makes sense. Yes, I'm an Aquarius too. Yeah, we don't like being told what to do at all. And that's what I feel like. It's like, you are not going to be bound, but I don't feel like you need to be bound. Like, this is a beautiful thing to be able to express yourself and to test I feel like you're just testing all these theories to try to get to your own conclusion, which is what you should be doing. It's about exploring and trying something. And boy, if you get burned, you get burned, and you've learned something from it. And that's what I feel like you're in. You're in this learning period. I want to say juvenile, but juvenile tends to come across that, you're not supposed to be juvenile. But it's a beautiful thing to be juvenile. I'm not sure if my new path. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, when I first started this, I kept going from one thing to, and this is the same energy that I'm getting for you, is going from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, trying it all out. And I remember I had been told, like, you are in grade school. And granted, now keep in mind, I was probably in my 30s at that time, and I thought I was so grown up. And they're telling me that, in the metaphysical realm, it's like, you're in grade school and you're going through the phases, but you still have a lot to learn. And I was kind of insulted. I was like, but I feel like I've been doing so much work, in my 30s. And I really see now, they were so right. Like, I had so much to learn. I had so much to explore. I had so many pieces I wanted to, pull off of, like an apple off the tree, collect all the apples from the different tree. And the way they would talk to me about it was that I was gathering my toolbox. Like, I could go read a book about some emotional healing, and then I would have that as a tool in my toolbox. I would go explore about how manifestation works, and I'd have that as a tool in my toolbox. And I feel like that's where you are at. I left career, but it didn't align, like speeding, but looking for, yes, exactly. What lights your fire? Exactly. Exactly. And everything that doesn't light your fire, it still was great that you explored it, because it gave you something. It gave you another piece of information to find the path of where you're going. So keep that speed dating up, because you're going to find the thing. You're going to get there. You're going to accumulate enough of the information from all the people that you've dated to accumulate it into the one thing that is just uniquely yours. Because you don't want to necessarily go and learn one thing and have that as the thing that is everything that you offer, because it just doesn't work that way. When you really are wanting to work, especially if you want to, you say it's a new path and a new purpose. And I don't know if you have an idea of what that is, but if it was a metaphysical realm, we have different flavors of almost all the same concepts about self-healing and empowerment, but we all offer it in a different way. So I feel like you're just finding your special juice. You're finding your special, speed dater. So I love that. Speed dating, but looking for what lights my fire. That's perfect. Awesome. All right, guys. This has been so much fun. I truly appreciate all this time with you. And I can only hope that you got some enlightenment from the words that we shared. And I so appreciate all of you. I want you all to just, expand into life. This is our time to shine. And so I fully support you, and I absolutely adore you. So namaste. Until next time. I'll be here next Tuesday. So I'll take care.